I just recently stopped smoking pot, and by stopped smoking pot, I of course mean that I ran out and haven't bought any to re-up, so I guess I'm gonna take a little break. Uh, man, oof. Also, by I just stopped smoking pot, what I really mean is all that I have left is the little dust at the bottom of my grinder, and I just smoked some, and kind of hit me pretty hard. So bear with me, folks. Man, for everyone out there that owns a grinder, you understand that there's a Keith, whatever. There's a catcher on the bottom, and it collects all the dust, and it's basically the equivalent of when you were a kid and you finish off a box of Frosted Flakes and all the powders at the bottom, and you fucking eat it. That's basically what I just did. I don't know. I take breaks from smoking weed every once in a while, you know? Because I feel like when I do it too often, it kind of makes you like temporarily autistic when you're burnt out, you know? You just don't register like human emotions, and you don't like pick up on other people's sarcasm and shit like that. So sometimes you just have to like take a break and let the autism wear off, you know? It's just the way it goes sometimes. So I'll probably take a break for like a couple months or so. 2 months, maybe, you know? Let the system refresh. That's what I always do. I go through phases where I'll smoke a lot of pot, and then I won't smoke any. And each time I go back to smoking, I don't enjoy it as much as I used to. It's like I've grown a little older each time. But that's just the way it is. So, just kind of, I got enough left to get me through the weekend, and then it's just alcohol. Yeah, I cut the vices down. Although I am ashamed to say I did start vaping, which is probably the gayest thing I do or have ever done. Vaping. Oh man. So now it's just nicotine and alcohol. Man, vaping really does suck though, isn't it? So there's no way to vape and look cool, and cigarettes always look cool. You know? Like even if a person like even like gross people that smoke cigarettes, they look cooler while they're smoking them, you know? Like just fat slobs or just like people you hate or you like secretly judge. And then like maybe it's a coworker or something. And then you see them smoking a cigarette, and in that moment you're like, "Oh, this person's cooler than I am." But with vaping, it's just kind of gay. There's really no way around it. Just that fucking dumb crackling sound it makes, like, and then you blow out like an animated amount of smoke. It's not even smoke, it's vapor. That's why it's stupid. You can't even say you're smoking, you're vaping. They had to make their own fucking word to go with it because they're so fucking cool. Those people over at Big Vape. Yeah. Vaping. It's terrible. It's just another reason that everything sucks, you know? It's just another reason. Anyway, so out with the marijuana and with the THC. Although I do have to admit, not the THC, the nicotine. I do have to admit though, vaping nicotine, just getting nicotine in your system sometimes, it is kind of nice, you know? It just kind of like calms you down, you know? You just kind of, it's like the opposite of coffee, but in like a productive way. I don't know. But I swear I'm not addicted. I can quit whenever I want. What's going on in the world? What is going on in the world? Washington, D.C. still on lockdown. National Guard troops and whatnot. Isn't that kind of funny? Like, what if that's just the way it is from now on? Like, the Capitol is just always this place where there's military marching around. And there was always like a presence after 9/11, right? For all you young listeners out there who were too young to remember 9/11, never forget. Afterwards you would see troops at or National Guard and big city train stations or airports or the Holland Tunnel, and it just kind of became normal. So what if there's troops that are always on the lookout for insurrectionists or erectionists or whatever marching, going into DC? That's just how it is now. There's just always going to be military there. But the funny thing about that is, when you look at all the people who stormed the Capitol a couple of weeks back, they were pretty much all white. Let's say 99% white. That sounds fair, obviously not all of them are white. This is America after all. But the same way that after 9/11, the military might either rightfully or not rightfully so, they'd profile certain people. In the name of protecting freedom and shit. They would just let's put it this way. If you fly around the country a lot on business or for leisure or whatever, after 2001, if you were of Middle Eastern descent, your stock went down a little bit. All right, let's just call it for what it is. It's just the way it goes, right? So now it's if you're white and you want to visit Washington, D.C., your stock is kind of gone down a little bit, So if you're white and you were planning on going to the Capitol, unless you work there, if you're a tourist, just act accordingly. And it's kind of funny though. Just imagine being a white family going to visit our nation's capital. You got Grandpa in the car. Gonna take him to see some war memorial. Hey, Grandpa, remember the war? Oh, you don't? You blocked it out of your memory? Well, we just brought you to Washington, D.C., so now you can look at all these memorials. Let's bring you to the war that you fought in, Grandpa. Oh, you forgot about it? Well, now all your memories are washing back. You remember when that kid pulled a gun on you and you had to make a choice between him dying or you dying, so you pulled the trigger and you killed that kid? You remember that? You remember your friend Jimmy dying in your arms with a lifeless stare on his face? Oh, you had forgotten about that. That was years and decades ago. Well, here you are. Vietnam Memorial or whatever. But yeah, if you're white and you go into the nation's capital, you're probably going to get treated like an Arab on a plane. And that's just the way it is, okay? You brought this amongst yourselves. White people. Now, of course, you notice how I'm saying you people. Because in the year 2021, being white has kind of gone out of fashion in general. It's not very fashionable to be white. Now, I, of course, am half Italian, which does not qualify me as being white. Look it up. That's a fact. And the other part of me is Irish. So they were second-class citizens back in the day. I'm not responsible for the sins of my father, but I'll sure take credit for their struggles. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, I am not white. White people are so lame anyway. So from here on out, just refer to me as Caucasian or something. Yeah, well, anyway, Capitol under lockdown. It's the way it is now. Forever. Just like masks. Get used to it all. Just kidding. Because I don't know shit. Oh, man. I was thinking the other day how Amish people, hundreds of years ago, Amish people didn't look weird. They looked normal, you know? Like in the 1700s, early 1800s, Amish people, they just seemed like any other farmer cracker out there. Maybe a little more religious than others, you know? Maybe they wore like weird hats, but they pretty much used all the same technology back then as everybody else. What's the cutoff? What is the cutoff for like Amish technology? Is it like anything with electricity you're not allowed to use? Everything up until electricity? Or like combustion? How does that work? Is there like a league of Amish elders that just maybe like technology gets submitted to them and they decide whether or not it's going to be made available to the rest of the Amish? Like, what can they use, you know? Like a Bic lighter? You think that's too much technology for them? I mean, it's just flint, right? And plastic and gas. How does that work? And also, Amish people, why don't you pick it up a little bit? I know you guys are still kind of in the Stone Age, or the Bronze Age, or whatever. But, just because you can't use our civilized technology, Amish people, doesn't mean you can't invent your own new shit, you know? Like, the design of the shovel has not changed much in the past, 1,000 years or whatever. Why don't you design a newer, better shovel, Amish people? Where's that entrepreneurial spirit? That real American Amish spirit, you know? Reinvent some shit. Huh? Do it. Stop being lazy. You know? I've been sitting on basically the same looking dining room table chairs ever since I was a kid. How come no one's invented like better dining room chairs? I'm looking at you, Amish people. This is your department. This is what you're good at. You know? Like, leave the social media to the millennials. Amish people, go redesign the fucking doorknob, you freaks. Did you guys buy your lottery tickets? There's like a big lottery, you know? No one really cares what the number is anymore. You just hear like, oh, the lottery. It's a jackpot. It's a big jackpot, and no one's won in X amount of weeks. And no one really cares how much it's worth anymore because everyone's at like such a pathetic state in their lives right now that everyone just wants to rush out to buy lottery tickets. Lottery tickets are probably the best investment you can make. You know, you pay like $2 and you win $700 billion. You'd be a fool not to do it. But I was in a convenience store earlier today. I was grabbing a cup of coffee, midday cup of coffee. It's Friday. Send it on a high note, some caffeine in your system. And, the whole idea of getting a coffee, when you walk into these places, you walk in, you grab your coffee, you pay, and you go, and you're out within like 2 minutes. You're not there to linger. You're not there to shop. But, of course, there's a long line. There's one cashier. There's 3 people in front of me. And there's some dumb bitch buying a lottery ticket. This stupid cunt. She's buying a lottery ticket. Not only is she buying a lottery ticket, she's buying 5 of them. All right? Now, to some of you degenerates out there, that might not sound like a big deal. But guess what? It is, all right? Because she's a fucking loser. You know how I know? Because she's not going to win the lottery. And when you don't win, you lose. She's a fucking loser. Do you hear me? And now, I, of course, can pass this judgment on this woman, this person, and everyone else out there that buys lottery tickets and holds up the goddamn line. I can pass judgment on you because I've never bought a lottery ticket. Scratch-offs? Sure. Who doesn't love a good scratch-off? Huh? Go get yourself, you get a fucking quarter. When's the last time you held a quarter? I guarantee it was you either bought a gumball or you played a scratch-off. Right? You get your quarter, you scratch it, you lose that too. Maybe you win like $5. You're like, oh cool, $5. I get 2 more scratch-offs. But if you're playing the numbers, and you're holding up the line while I'm trying to pay for my coffee with a debit card, are you fucking kidding me right now? and you're getting 5 lottery tickets? If you were so sure of yourself that you were going to win, why wouldn't you just buy one? Huh? How badly do you need that $700 million? And you know what? When this cunt was finally done paying for her lottery tickets, another employee had to come over and open up another register because this woman had to buy her lottery tickets. She had to win the jackpot. However many $1 million. She doesn't know. I don't know. Nobody knows. She bought 5 tickets. Do you understand that? So some other poor soul who gets paid minimum wage, I'm assuming, had to come over. She had to put down her butter knife for making subs and open up a cash register. So the rest of us normal people that are participating in capitalism and purchasing goods so that we could actually get out of there because a long line had formed. Do you understand the picture I'm painting here, people? Do you understand what's going on? And I know that this lady will not win the lottery. She won't. All right? And if she does, it doesn't matter because she won't. So I walk out of the store, and I see this woman, and she gets into a Mercedes-Benz. And I'm like, okay, what the fuck? You just messed up my whole judgment of character of people that buy lottery tickets. You know? She gets into a Mercedes-Benz and she's blasting Hot 97 or something. And, she looks like she's living a Gucci life, as they say. A Gucci life. And here I am. I thought that only homeless bum degenerates and poor people who don't understand the value of $700 million were buying lottery tickets. And I realized you don't have to be poor to be a fucking bum degenerate. You can be a rich bum degenerate, like this woman who got into her Mercedes and held up the line. That's it. I don't care if you play the lottery. Honestly, I don't. Go ahead. Just make sure I'm not behind you in line. Okay? Okay. That's what they say. All right? Don't fucking hold me up in line. And since I'm complaining about something, I got another thing I gotta get off my chest. All right? And now I want to preface this by saying I'm not racist. I swear I'm not. I just make observations, okay? And I understand that whenever you have to preface anything by saying I'm not racist, it usually doesn't look good or sound good. But just bear with me, okay? Just try to be open-minded about this and let me explain myself. Now I have what doctors call an astigmatism, right? And what that really means is nothing, right? It's like, oh, your corneal rectals, the light hits off it differently. It doesn't matter. It's all gobbledygook. I don't have to wear glasses, right? But at nighttime, I'm not blind, but I don't see quite as well as most other people do. Especially if there's like a glare from headlights from other cars. Night driving, easy, not as easy as day driving. Anyway, I digress. What I'm trying to say is, how come I'll just go out and say it. Any black listeners out there, why do you, I don't care, like, you're walking around at night, that's fine. Everyone's allowed to do that. You're jaywalking. That's fine. Everyone jaywalks, You're in like some suburbs. You gotta get from one side of the street to the other. There's no crosswalks. You just fucking walk across. But, black people. Do you have to be dressed in all black clothing when you do it? I'm not asking you to put on like a blinking light, but black shoes, black pants, black hoodie. You know, it's driving at night. Your headlights they only help you out so much. So I was driving the other night, and this black guy was jaywalking, and I barely saw him. I didn't hit him, but I could have. Just some food for thought. Maybe we're like a neon reflective pink ensemble. Anything but all black. Maybe just make like one article of clothing not black if you're gonna jaywalk at night. Now I'm not telling you what to do, but just saying, from a Caucasian's perspective, hook a brother up. I was taking a shower this morning, and I don't know what it is about shower farts, but they always smell so much worse. So much worse. They're amplified than any other kind of fart. And I think it's the steam. It's like your fart your fart comes out of your butt as steam, and then it just kind of remains as steam, but like fills the entire shower. Then you got the shower curtain. You got like little suction cups in the shower curtain. You push them against the tile. You get them a little wet. You seal yourself in. You fucking retain that heat and all that steam, and then you fart, and like all the steam just fucking turns to like if smells could have a color, it would all be brown. And it just smells really bad every time you fart in the shower. And I was thinking, like, if I was Jewish, if I was like a Holocaust survivor, and I was in a shower, and I smelled gas, I'd probably get PTSD. So, that's just an assumption. I'm not Jewish. I'm just saying. Something to think about. That's what this episode's about. It's about things to think about. Just ponder them. That's what goes on in my head. Oh, I do have some good news though. This podcast, it's obviously generating a lot of steam, constantly trending on your favorite social medias. I've got hundreds of millions of listeners. Every week I get more. The amount of popularity this podcast is gaining is just out of control. And so naturally, I've gained the attention of a couple of some of the bigwigs in the podcasting game. So I was reached out to by a podcast network, which is, of course, a network of podcasts. And they asked me if I wanted to join. And the way it works is, you join. It's basically like you join this network, and they supply, like, they help you to like gain more advertisers and sponsors, and they also kind of like you plug other people on the network's podcast, and like other people will plug Radio Rants with Roman. By the way, 23 minutes and 57 seconds in, you are listening to Radio Rants with Roman. It's a podcast. And so anyway, this network, they asked me if I wanted to join. You kind of like, you help each other out. And so I said, sure, let's do it. Let's put it there, partner. And we didn't shake hands because of COVID and all. Plus, this person is stationed out in Washington State. This network. So anyway, I am proud to announce that Radio Rants is officially part of the Dikshittz Podcast Network, and we're proud that we're both looking forward to all of the success that we can have together. And so I wanted to I'm actually gonna play a little clip from one of my sister podcasts on the network, which is, of course, the Angry Lesbian News podcast. So sit back and enjoy this little clip.
Hi, and welcome to another episode of Angry Short-Haired Liberal Lesbians, the show where angry short-haired liberal lesbians come to complain about men and the patriarchy. I'm your host, Joe. I wanted to start this episode by getting something off my chest. I'm tired of the stereotype that if you're a lesbian and you have short hair, then you're expected by society to wear flannel. That is not true. I haven't worn flannel since the Bush administration, when I was still in the closet, and I just enjoyed wearing flannel and having a short haircut. I hadn't realized yet that I was an angry lesbian. So for all of my angry, short-haired, liberal lesbian listeners out there, I just wanted to say, don't let society dictate how you have to be a lesbian. If you want to wear flannel, that's fine. If you want to wear something else, like a leather jacket over a plaid flannel, that's fine too. Now on to the news. Did anyone else see Rachel Maddow's haircut? To the non-angry, short-haired liberal lesbian, you may not have noticed, but I noticed that she went from using hair gel to mousse. Truly a pioneer amongst angry, short-haired liberal lesbians. That's why I'm giving her this week's Flannel Award. On to celebrity gossip. New photos were just released of Tilda Swinton, out to lunch with her partner, and in these photos you can see that Tilda has let her hair grow down to her shoulders. Cut the hair, you dyke. Keep it short and stay angry. You're on notice, Tilda. In other celebrity gossip news, the League of Lesbians, or LOL, is still debating whether or not to rescind Elliot Page's membership. You'll recall that Elliot, formerly Ellen Page, was one of the most famous celebrity lesbians. I'm not sure why, though. Her hair wasn't short enough, and she wasn't angry enough for my liking, but I digress. LOL is debating whether they should remove Elliot from their record book. Now, we all know the real reason that Ellen Page transitioned to a man and became Elliot Page is because Ellen DeGeneres wanted to be the only lesbian Ellen. We will keep you posted on any and all updates.
Oh, well, that's just one of the many great podcasts that you'll be hearing about. One of the great podcasts that you'll be hearing about on the Dikshittz Podcast Network family. So give what was it? Angry short-haired lesbians news. Give them a listen, would you? They're my sisters in podcasting. So you know, I'll be supporting other podcasts on the network in the future, and you'll hear about them too. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Just listen, folks. I know times are uncertain out there. So uncertain that I usually end up just scrolling through Netflix and then turning the TV off without watching anything.